But I think that's the problem. I think Blizzard makes these bosses, overtunes the shit out of them, and then expects these two guilds to make it, fixable for them, so that everybody else can do it. And at that point, you can't really determine how long something's gonna take. So yeah, man, congrats to Echo. Played absolutely mental to get their RWF kill. I watched the whole thing. That's crazy, man. Some of those attempts were like literally insane. Everyone alive at the end. Well, almost everyone alive at the end. The majority of everyone was alive at the end. They were cracked as they were without a doubt cracked as they were like, I mean, they definitely played on a whole other level for sure. That being said, I think, Liquid stopping when they did, or whatever you guys want to call it, stopping, conceding, whatever it may be, was definitely the right move. If you looked at the interview afterward, when they were interviewing Echo, they said the same thing. They're like, if we were in the same position they were, and they were, a full phase 4 ahead of us, we'd do the same thing. We'd probably tell everyone to go home. But that's not the case. Echo was hungry as look, man, I told you all, since the second Liquid was announced, and Liquid put in their article that they're the #1 guild in World of Warcraft in the world, I was like, bro, Echo gonna have a problem with that. They channeled that inner Michael Jordan. Oh, that's how you want to play. And I took that personally. Yeah. Ever since that happened, bro, I said, it's gonna be rough, dude. It was rough watching Liquid basically make zero progress in 24 hours. Yeah, they were burned out. Even yesterday, before the kill even happened, remember in the morning we were talking about it, that I was watching Liquid the night before, and Max and those guys just looked dead. Like there was a point where Max didn't say a single word on his stream for like an hour. He was just slouched down. I'm like, bro, they're like done. Yeah, I honestly, I think they stayed probably 2 or 3 days longer than they should have. But when you're that close, you're at 15%, you're 5% away from seeing the last phase. It's hard, man. So some race to world first guilds aren't built to come back from behind. They're just not. Just like there's certain teams in baseball, basketball, European football, right? Like some teams are just known that if you're behind, you're just not going to catch up. Wait for Paradin to be done with his key so I can finish mine. What do I have done this week? Oh yeah, I needed one more heroic kill. Should have done it anyway. 278 to 78, then I need 4 more for this 278. Are we good? Halundra stole their hearts, Jailer claimed their souls. I mean, Jailer was only what, like 40 something pulls more than Anduin, wasn't it? See, like I don't think personally, I don't think going there for heroic week was a good idea. That one threw me off once I saw the guilds kind of like traveling for heroic week. I'm like, weird, because they didn't want to lose one day. I think splits killed a lot of the hype for a lot of people. You think about it, right? Like Echo did almost twice as many splits, I think, as Liquid did, didn't they? I think Genji was talking about it actually right before they got the kill, or either I think it was after they got the kill. It was definitely before, because I didn't watch anything more afterward because I was doing keys. I think he said that like for every 1 tier piece that Liquid got, they got 2, because they constantly had people doing mythic raiding while at the same time being in heroic splits outside of the raid that some people just didn't know about, unless you were watching a streamer that was in those splits and you knew about it. Yeah, Echo did 180 plus splits. It's literally insane. I don't know, I feel like a lot of the game design in WoW could just be changed up, or the philosophy behind how loot is distributed, how gear works, can be done in the future to a point where it's like, this kind of behavior doesn't happen, right? Like, imagine a raid launches and the top 20 guilds, 30 guilds in the world don't have to do 90 splits a tier. Well, let's get something straight here first of all. Out of all the Papega fucking comments I've seen yesterday, anti-EU, anti-NA, these guys are soft, these guys are chads. The people that I think that triggered me the fucking most are the people that say that Blizzard, I call it, doesn't design these bosses or the mythic raid bosses around the race to world first guilds. And I'm here like, bro, Has anyone else been watching World of Warcraft for the last like 17 years? Or am I crazy? Like, those are the people that edged me out the most yesterday. I couldn't believe it, man. Like, people need to realize that the raids are made this way, and Blizzard literally in their mind relies on the Race to World First guilds for the tuning of their mythic raids, because based on their gameplay, their performance, how hard it is for them, how easy it is for them, that's how they make adjustments for the rest of us simpletons to get through the raid. Or else we go back to the days of like BC and vanilla, where only like a certain population, part of the population, can actually get to certain content. They don't make these races for those guilds, for 2 guilds. Of course they do. You know, in a perfect world, Blizzard would have, you know, proper QA, and we wouldn't have to rely on Echo or Liquid or BDGG or Method or Skyline or SK Gaming or whatever. Like, why do you think Scribes and Max have a direct line of contact with the devs? They're literally giving feedback as the fights are going. They're fixing shit as the fights are going. They're encountering bugs and fixing it as the fights are going. If anything, I would love for there to be a tier where the top GMs of World of Warcraft do not have any communication with the devs at all, and I'd like to see what happens to that raid. There's 3 levels of Mythic Raid: broken, first release, Race of World First nerfs, post Race of World First nerfs. Yeah, exactly. I always tell people, like, why do you think the raids get nerfed? Like y'all don't think this coming Monday or Tuesday or next Monday, Tuesday, there's not going to be any nerfs to all these Mythic Raid bosses? I think Halundris is going to get gutted. I think Anduin's going to get gutted eventually over time. Hopefully Liquid bounces back next year. The decision to travel before Heroic Week even started fucked them hard. Echo traveled at the end of Heroic Week, and 50% of the guilds was raiding from home. Yeah, I mean, look, it's an event, right? Like, I made that post on Twitter, and half the people lost their minds, and half the people knew what I was talking about. You know, I think Blizzard, in a sense, needs to always set a standard when it comes to certain aspects of their game. They're out there, they're on social media, they're tweeting out in support of guilds. Every time there's a kill, they mention the guild. They have a blue post with all the Race to World First live streams, where to catch them, who to see. It's not, you know, it's like they're trying their best to be a part of it, but then if you're not consistent, people are going to notice, right? I don't think Liquid or Echo anticipated going past this time. Not even close. I think half of them had it at like 10 days, maybe 11. Instead it goes like 18. You ready, Paradin? All right, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think there needs to be some sort of standard. Either that or communication would be nice. I think Blizzard communication with these guilds, because these bosses are waiting for them to test it for them, I think they should have some sort of communication. But I think that's the problem. I think Blizzard makes these bosses, overtunes the shit out of them, and then expects these 2 guilds to make it, you know, fixable for them so that everybody else can do it. And at that point, you can't really determine how long something's going to take. 8 to 12 days. I mean, I'm not saying, you know, make the race 24 hours like Xavius. If you ask me, I think a 1 reset race is fine, as long as the bosses are good. I've always liked that. I always liked the whole reset Tuesday into reset Wednesday into kills on Wednesday, Thursday kind of shit. I mean, here we're talking about 18 days, man. Like, at some point, like, I kind of would have wished Blizzard would have just told, you know, the leadership of both of those guilds, because that's who these raids are initially targeted at, right? To sit there and be ignorant and think that Blizzard doesn't care about the Race to World First, or that they don't think about the Race to World First when they make these encounters and make their raids is ludicrous. But some sort of communication I thought would have been nice. Like, you know, maybe during the Mythic Raid testing on the PTR, someone would have contacted somebody, said, hey man, you know, this ain't gonna be your average raid. Y'all need to buckle the fuck in.